Hey y'all, welcome to another video. It's Lolo. And today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. It's going to be more like a chit chat get ready with me. I don't really do like a tutorial, but I am going to talk about my life and kind of like my timeline. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Thank you. So I've already started my makeup, but I thought I would do a chit chat get ready with me. Just gonna talk to you guys, say what's up. I think that I haven't done a like get to know me video in a while, and I just hit 500 subscribers, and that is freaking awesome. So thank you guys for joining my journey. And most of you probably followed me because I was on a new show called the 6,000 Pound Diaries with Dr. Now, and or starring Dr. Now, and that's where you know me from, and that's awesome. I'm glad you're here. I can't talk and do. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up some questions that I've been getting on my videos and answer them, kind of introduce myself. So hi, my name is Lauren, but I go by Lolo. I'm 27 years old. My birthday's on June 3rd. What's up? 1998. I'm from Arlington, Texas, and currently I have lost 350 pounds. Woo! Yeah, I was on, so there's only one season of this show. And I was episode number 9. If you want to watch it, you could watch it through Lifetime or on a streaming service called Philo, or I think YouTube has it. There's a bunch of ways you could find it. It's a little bit more tricky, I'm not gonna lie, but it's on there. Or I know that like on YouTube, some people have reacted to it, which I saw Shauna Steele react to mine, and I have seen it, but I saw it when he first posted it, and I kind of want to watch it again and react to it. I think that would be really fun because I remember watching it the first time and it was pretty funny. So I may be doing that, but let me go ahead and pull up some comments that I've been getting on my videos. So I'm on all platforms. I have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and yeah. So let's see. So well, one of the comments that I get a lot is like, I can't believe he lets her film these videos with him. I can't believe he agreed to this. Y'all, Dr. Now is a social media star. He loves all the little videos. He just needs to know what trends are there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we have fun filming it. And I know that all his friends and like people that support him at his meet and greets have fun too. So yeah, trust me, I wouldn't be making those videos if he didn't give me the okay. I do respect him. So, because people are like, you don't respect him and you're just using him. And it's like, guys, this is what social media is. But trust, if he did not want to be in those videos, I would not be posting those. I've also gotten people asking, how do I make money? How did I support my lifestyle back then when I was 750 pounds? So long story short is I've always had a job. I work from home in customer service, and I'm still doing that. I currently have 2 jobs right now, and I do sell my own little press on nails here and there. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. And it was the same as back then, except I just had one work from home job, and I just budgeted my money in a way where food was a priority. So that's how I did it back then. So I am still very open with my weight and all that stuff and what I eat and stuff. I don't post constantly about like my exact weight and like what I'm eating daily and stuff, but under those types of videos, I do get comments, and like my transformation videos, I do get comments of people asking like, how did I do it? How did I lose the weight? And obviously I had the weight loss surgery, if you saw the episode. Um, and I'm not a professional. I'm not, giving professional advice, but I feel like how I overcame my struggles, how I overcame my low point and, kind of got out of my situation is by doing 3 things. The first one is to acknowledge the issue. I tell everyone this in my real life. Like when I'm replying to comments, I always say this. It's like the triple A. You need to acknowledge the situation. For me, I knew I was gaining weight, but it didn't affect me that harshly. So I just kept telling myself, I'm big, but I can handle it. Like there's no problem. When really there was a huge, huge problem. Okay. Even though I could physically feel myself getting tired just by walking to the front door, or, you know, when the scale couldn't read my weight anymore, I knew there was an issue, but I did not acknowledge it. I let it play out. And I feel like that's the first step with, overcoming most situations is you have to acknowledge, whoa, that scared the shit out of me. Woo. I got a notification in it. Anyways. So yeah, acknowledge the situation and um acknowledge if you're the problem. Like we all know right from wrong. We know what gets us to where we are. I understand there's outside forces, but at the end of the day, you're the only one that can ultimately change your life. So acknowledge that shit, okay? Acknowledge there's a problem, or acknowledge the situation. Accept it for what it is, and that is the first step that I took. Next is to take accountability. I blamed my circumstances for so long. I blamed outside forces, and while I never blamed anybody in particular, I felt like I was owed a better life. And that's just how it is. When you get that big, you become miserable, you become desperate to keep hold of your faith and hope. And I wanted to keep hold of my faith and hope so bad, I blamed my circumstances. And that's not what the problem was. Putting myself in that mentality was an awful thing. I should have never done that, because it just let me feed into my delusions. It let me feed, literally. It justified my situation. It justified that, like, yes, I'm here, but it's not really my fault, but like, I deserve better. So I was just kind of being a brat and just kind of putting blame anywhere else I could. I did not want to take accountability. I genuinely thought that I didn't have a problem emotionally, mentally. I know I had an eating problem. I just thought that my emotions and my mental were fine. I didn't think that it, played any part into my overeating and stuff. So that was step number 2, was to finally take accountability and say, this is your fault. And I know that sounds really harsh, but it was my fault. And if you want to move on, you have to fix it. You have to figure it out. Like, at this point, no one is coming to save you. I'm sorry. You need to take the first step and try to save yourself, because at this point I had lost all my support. Yes, I had people in my life that would come to my apartment and help me clean and bring me food. I had enablers. They did try their best to bring me healthy food and stuff, but when you have a 750-pound woman giving you an attitude, and you know I hate the way that I treated people. So sorry, okay. I'm not laughing about it. Sandra and like my dad and a few other people are like the main ones that take care of me, and sorry. Anyways, they're still with me. Obviously, they see me changing and growing as a person, mentally, emotionally, physically. Thank God, like, it's all good now. But that brings me to step 3. Take action, okay? I didn't get to where I was because, I was just hungry. I got to where I was because I couldn't come to terms with why I got that big, why I gave up, why I didn't care. So I know saying those 3 steps out loud is obviously easier than said, but you have to figure out what works for you. For me personally, I had to deconstruct every part of my life and literally kind of just look at everything from different perspectives, what I could have done differently. And like I said, I'm not a professional. I don't know if that would help anybody else, but this is just what I did. Once I kind of came to terms with the things that I've been through in my past and, you know, like forgiven the situation or whatever, kind of had my closure with it, I was finally able to truly work on myself. In my opinion, me getting that big and all that stuff and becoming the big old meanie is just the result of me keeping everything bottled in for all those years. And I was a little bit blurry. Like I said, once I finally figured out that, girl, you could do this, you could really fix your life, it changed. It changed for me. And then, I got in contact with Dr. Now, and it's been an amazing journey. And I still cannot believe that I'm here today. Like, I truly thought my life was going to end when I went to the hospital back in 2023. Another thing with like me being on the show and stuff, obviously I'm getting more attention on my social media platforms, and I've been getting a lot of messages and comments about all these um well, just people, hyping me up a little bit, saying I'm beautiful and all this stuff. Um like some of y'all be too bold in my DM. So I did post a link tree on my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. You can go ahead and go check out my Amazon list, or, you know, surprise me a little bit with Venmo or PayPal, because y'all be too bold and y'all want stuff and that's all for free, but it cost, okay? It cost. And not like that, but I'm just saying, some of you guys are very, very bold. And I like the attention. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy the attention. Y'all don't know my past. Y'all don't know me. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to pretend like I'm something that I'm not, because I'm not gonna lie, I like it, but y'all could definitely do better. For the shit that I'm getting in my DMs, y'all could do a lot better in my Venmo or on my Amazon list. Thank you. Back to the regular program. So today I'm actually going live on TikTok with some of the other people from the show. We've all become such good friends, and I'm going to be going live on TikTok with them here in about like 3 hours. Um, so if you guys don't follow me on TikTok, you should. And I definitely want to mention their pages as well, because they all post content, and it's all different types of content, but all sharing our stories. And I think all of our stories are amazing. So I definitely want to put their handles somewhere in this video or in the description bar. Um, yeah, we've all, I don't know, just become really good friends. And I think it's awesome that, there's people out there that can relate. Um, because when I got to my highest weight of 750 pounds, I had no one. I was posting on TikTok at the time, going live, and I had a lot of people um coming to my live just to kind of comfort me and stuff. But I mean, I was so alone, y'all. Like, to go from that to this is just so crazy. And I talk about it all the time. Like, I still cannot believe that. I don't know. I just can't believe it. But that's why my main goal this year, like as far as social media goes, is to just be consistent, because I did Vlogmas. Well, I posted like 2 videos for Vlogmas, and that was it. I did like day 1 and day 7, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I am a loser. I just couldn't, like, it's not a part of my daily routine and like my schedule. So I just would put it on the back burner and stuff. And that's a bad habit I still have, y'all. Like, I am such a procrastinator. Obviously I don't have to post on social media, so I procrastinate it. But I want to change that, because when you procrastinate, it is such a disgusting thing to me. Like, it trickles into everything that you do. So this is a loop that I've been in for a long time. So that's my goal, is to just quit procrastinating, do the damn thing, because I've already wasted enough time. I don't need to waste any more. Like, seriously. Oh, I also get comments about the nails that I made for the show. A lot of you guys really love them. Um, I don't sell them. I have been speaking to a doctor about that, and I don't know what's going on. I don't want to, like, step on anyone's toes. So as of right now, I'm not going to sell them. But I did just make an Etsy account. I used to have an Etsy account way back in the day, like kind of when COVID started, and I shut it down, but I want to redo it, and I will try not to procrastinate posting on there, because I do I love making press-ons, and I want to get back into that little business, so we'll see. Other than that, like, I'm an open book, y'all. I don't really know what else to talk about. If you guys have questions, let me know. Like, literally, I'm not shy at all. Start, like, talking to you guys more, because I feel like a lot of the content I post is just like random and, like I said, just raw clips. So I kind of want to change that up a little bit. I don't know, content is so weird to me. Like, I feel so cringy and like, oh my gosh, this video sucks. That's why I never post anything. But this is the year of confidence, okay? Speaking of this year, I'm supposed to be losing 150 pounds. My personal goal, my friend and I actually have a little challenge going on, except she's disqualified herself because she's pregnant. Really, bitch? Why the fuck you gotta get pregnant right now? Okay, actually, I'm happy for her, but still, we were just so excited to do it, but I'm happy for her, because honestly, she just needs to pop these last two babies out. Like, she wants a total of 4 babies, and she just had her last kid 3 months ago. Yeah, I know. And I think I just told her, I was like, get it over with. Like, just get it over with. My mom did that. Like, just do it. That way you could, like, focus on yourself and stuff. Again, I'm not a mother, but that's my advice, okay? So we'll see, but I'm so excited. I also really love makeup. I kind of want to start doing more makeup videos. Um, I'm not like crazy into the beauty world, but I definitely love to do makeup. So if you check out my channel, I do have other makeup content, but my content sucks so bad, y'all. Like, I'll watch old videos, I'm like, that's so cringy, but I don't delete them, because that's what life's all about. And honestly, I'm cringy as fuck. Actually, I'm gonna embrace it. I'm cringy as fuck. I don't give a fuck. Funny side, and that's like what all my family and friends know me for, is like being funny, being cringy, being out there. Like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Y'all, this foundation is so good. I love it so much. This is I don't know if I showed it already, but this is the e.l.f. Camo CC cream. Y'all, this stuff is so good. It gives really great coverage, and it's like, if I needed more coverage, I could definitely do a second layer, but I just kind of do one thin layer, and I love it. Now I'm just going to put on some loose powder. This is just the e.l.f. brand. I mean, not e.l.f., Wet n Wild brand. But it's just so good. Like, this is my go-to makeup routine when I'm just doing like an everyday thing, or like if I'm gonna run errands and I want to do my makeup, this is what I do. It's just so simple. And after I lost, some weight and like started getting back into makeup, I struggled so bad. I was like, I don't remember how to do makeup anymore. Like, I don't remember shit from it. But I'm glad that I kind of figured it out. And like, my friend was making fun of me because I used to do my eyebrows really thick and dark, and I do like how my eyebrows are kind of dark, but I don't do them as thick anymore. And she was like, bitch, it's not 2016, like, grow the fuck up. And honestly, y'all, I am stuck in like 2016, 2017 era. Like, I don't know why, but I'm just stuck there. So I think that, like, for YouTube videos, I kind of want to do like the trendy videos that were going on in 2017, because that's where I'm at, y'all. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Powder in Banana, okay? Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but Shauna Steele reacted to my episode, and I've already seen his video, but when I watched it, I was at my friend's house, and I didn't like, we were like pausing and stuff, so I didn't have time to kind of watch it I didn't have a moment to watch it all the way through. So I think I'm gonna film a video reacting to that because I think he's really funny and um yeah, I want to react too, okay? So I'm just going through my comments and see what comments there are. Everyone loves Dr. Now and his new beard, like his new little white beard. Everyone loves him for that, and so do I. He's a little cutie, so I get a lot of comments about that. I get a lot of people telling me that the dancing video I did with him, the veggie dance video, is AI. It's not AI. My friend filmed it and it was so last minute. I didn't know what it was, like on the spot, and the video it already had the filter on there, so that's why there was a filter, but it's not AI, I promise. I guess I can also like kind of go through my timeline. Um I've had like a few comments asking about my past and stuff. So I guess so hi, I was born June 3rd, 1998, and basically something that I talk in the show is my parents getting divorced. They got divorced when I was 13 years old. So at that point, my family fell apart. The divorce is something that did affect me, y'all. People would make fun of me for it. Like it is what it is, but it affected me because um I was spoiled. I was a spoiled kid. My parents made good money. They definitely took care of us. We had amazing Christmases, took vacations. Like I know that I had an amazing childhood. I was very blessed and fortunate. Um when my family was no longer, that is where I was upset. Everything just fell apart. Moved out of the house, was going back and forth from parents. So that kind of was the start of me deciding for myself that no one cares. Like, if they don't care, why should I care? And that's truly how I felt. That caused me to lash out. I lived with my mom until I was 15 after the divorce, and then I moved out with my grandma. Stayed with my grandma for a few months, and then from my grandma and so on, I was moving in with friends. I was house hopping, sleeping on anyone's couch or floor that would allow me to stay. And I was going to clubs, I was drinking, I was just doing things that no 16-year-old should be doing. So that's kind of where things started for me. I'm very stubborn and I don't like being told what to do. And I think that contributed to a lot of, you know, why I went down certain paths and things like that. But let's fast forward to like COVID time, 2020. At this point, I'm living with my other grandma, and this is where my weight like kind of starts to affect me physically. Because up until this point, I was doing okay. Like, yes, I was out of breath when I was walking and stuff, but I was fine until one day I get in my car and it's tight. I'm talking about tight. I'm talking about I struggled just swinging my leg in the car. So I had a 2010 uh Suzuki Kosashi, is that what it's called? That's the car that I had, and I could not fit in it. So from that moment on, I only drove when I absolutely needed to, and I just started ordering stuff at that time. But it was very easy because that's when COVID started happening, and I didn't have to make an excuse as to why I wasn't going out. I had the excuse COVID. So it kind of enabled me even more. And I'm not blaming COVID for my weight gain. I'm just saying it was me justifying my lifestyle. So then I'm staying with my grandma. I decide to leave because at that point, like, I'm just feeling, you know, pressure from my family, tension. Like, obviously, they see the problem that I'm having with my weight, and I just didn't want to acknowledge it. So I left. I moved in with a friend in a 3-story apartment. She was on the 3rd floor. So I never left that apartment ever. Again, just left when I really had to. And then from that apartment, I went to live in a house with this roommate, and then another friend joined us. And then at that point, I've just been moving around a lot. So I basically, probably the tip of my weight gain Like the highest point of my weight gain was December 2023. I was living alone in this little duplex, and at this time it was literally just like my dad and my friend Sandra coming to check up on me. At this point I was a chore for them. They were not the can't even talk. These visits were not to say hi. These visits were basically just to make sure that I was still there. Make sure that I was still breathing, and making sure that, stuff didn't get horribly gross as far as like the mess and stuff. Like, at this point, I could not do anything for myself. And these were the people that, kind of double checked on me. These visits were purely for errands and just making sure she's still there. Ooh, excuse me. So it's December 2023. I'm pretty much at my highest weight. I don't know how much I weigh. I just know that I was over 600 pounds. Because I didn't have a scale that could weigh me because I was that big. Then towards like the second week of December, stuff is already going downhill. I've already fallen twice. One of the times I was able to get up. The second time, firefighters had to come help me. I am losing sleep. I am losing my mind. I literally hadn't had a real night's rest in months. And then again, this is just my experience with it. I know that I was the problem, but I don't want you guys to think I'm just complaining. This is just to put in perspective with it. It could apply to many things, I feel like, but you have to want it for yourself, because I would never wish this upon anyone. I trapped myself. I enabled myself. I justified a very horrible lifestyle in life. I was sad all the time. I hated myself. I hated life. It was lowest of the low. Like, I don't know how I overcame that, honestly. Like, I was done. I was completely done. So moving on, one day my friend comes over, and we're talking, and this was after I had already called like every like health facility I could find in Texas. I wanted to be checked into some sort of rehab facility. I wanted help. I knew that I wasn't really ready to be gone. I just knew that I was too far for myself to save right off the bat. I didn't know what I was doing. I used food to cope with everything, and I didn't know how to break the cycle I was in. So I knew that I needed like professional help. I didn't know where to go, y'all. Like, I was literally stuck. So I had made all these phone calls. I was getting denied. People were telling me, like, just based off what you told me, you're too big. Or we don't have a program like that. Like, so whatever. So basically, after everything, I finally realized that I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. I was very scared that, one day I was not gonna be waking up. That's how it felt. I was only sleeping for like 10 to 20-minute periods at a time, and I couldn't lay down anymore at this point. I was sitting on my cube. If you guys saw my episode, you guys know that big old cube that has been with me forever. I still have it, and that is where I would sleep. I would sleep sitting up, crossing my arms like this, and I have this little pillow, which I still have it, and I would put it here, and I would literally just, my body was so big, it could just kind of like teeter or like even just sit straight up, because my body was just that big and sturdy and dense. So that's how I would sleep. And I was terrified to lay down because I couldn't breathe. My breathing had gotten so bad, y'all. Like, I was losing my voice because I was struggling to breathe that bad. So my friend's over, and I'm just like kind of talking to her about everything. And I said, I think I need to go to the hospital. I said, I don't think I can do one more night alone. Um, I know that I'm not doing anything. I'm just like kind of existing in this little duplex, but I'm terrified and I'm struggling to breathe. I can barely walk to the restroom on my own. Um, I've peed the floor many times. Like I'm telling you guys, I felt like I had no control over my body anymore. Like the only control I had was eating. And yeah. So I had lost my mobility for a little while. I was bedbound for some time, not too long, but at least a month or two, and that was horrible. I lost the privilege to walk. In the hospital, I remember I got there. I think I have like a short clip of the fire truck coming to pick me up. By the way, just getting onto that fire truck was exhausting. Um when they came to my house, there was about 8 to 10 firefighters, I believe. Maybe, okay, maybe that's kind of a lot. Maybe like 6, 7, okay. There was quite a few there, and I remember they came into my room. I'm sitting on my cube, and I just felt so bad. I could not believe that I had called the firefighters to come get me and or to transfer me to the hospital. It was firefighters and EMT. I was just like so sorry. I need to go to the hospital. I can't breathe. And I just like I need help. Like I'm sorry. I felt disgusted with myself. Like, really? This is where you're at? So I had this one dining chair in my duplex that my grandpa let me borrow because it was sturdy enough for me to sit down. And this is the chair that I would kind of push around in the kitchen because I couldn't stand for more than like 30 seconds at a time. Not even. It's also the chair that I use to sit by my back door because I would let Millie outside, and um, it just wasn't worth me letting her out and then walking back to my room. I had to stay there because I already used all my energy getting to the back door. I'm gonna have to rev it up to get back. So I needed somewhere to sit. They grabbed that chair, mind you, from my bedroom door to my front door was maybe 8 feet. Like it wasn't a long distance, but I had some firefighters behind me, or some people behind me, some people in front of me, and they'd walk behind me, and every 3 or 5 steps, I would sit down. And I did that all the way till I got to my front door. There was like one little step down from my front door, took the step, sat down, and then finally they were able to lay it's called a gurney, right? The gurney out in front of me. And I was terrified to sit on it. I thought I would break it, but I got on it and was transported to the hospital. I was put in like the temporary rooms, like when you first get to the emergency room at a hospital. I was put in one of those rooms, and then I remember I had to use the restroom. And at this point, my aunt was there because, like, obviously the emergency room is like kind of serious. So my aunt was there, and I was like, I need to use the restroom, and I proceeded to try to stand up. I remember the nurse had came in there and she was like, "No, you can't stand. Let me go get the Purewick." I said, "I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna stand up and go use the restroom." And I just remember like a whole bunch of people came in there and I was not allowed to stand. So she came in with a Purewick and she held it up to me and she's like, "Let me go ahead and put this on you." And I said, "Put it where?" I was like, "You're not putting that anywhere near me." I had no idea what it was. And I'm 750 pounds, y'all. Having people touch my intimate areas was like extremely scary and frustrating for me. I was already embarrassed as it is, and this was just another like low point. I know that the nurse was like just trying to help me and stuff, but in the moment I was scared and embarrassed and just feeling a whole bunch of these things, these emotions that I just I've never felt before. It was a new level of being ashamed, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. I was so embarrassed. But at some point, she's getting through to me and she's basically explaining to me like, you know, when you got here, you had all these people helping you. She's like, it's just me and a couple other nurses. And she was explaining it in the most nicest way possible, but saying like, bitch, you way too big. If you fall, like, we're gonna have to call them right back out here to get you. So at that point, I kind of was like, okay, like, I don't want to hurt anybody. Let me get this pure wig, I guess. Obviously, I couldn't stand. So they had to cut my pants off. And, you know, she put the pure wig and I just could not stop crying. I was so embarrassed. Now I'm laying in this bed with no pants on and I'm pissing myself through this tube that is sitting on my mousse or my baked potato, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm just like, what did I do? Like, why did I come here? Like, and at this point, I'm like just contradicting myself and everything because I'm just confused. And it's all leading back to, how did you do this to yourself? That is what I kept coming back to. Like, how could you do this to yourself? Why? Like, how did this happen? That was the question. Those were the questions that kept resurfacing. So yeah, I was in the hospital for almost 3 weeks, I think. And um it was like a little over 2 weeks, I believe. In those 2 weeks at the hospital, I lost 100 pounds. Um, I've talked about it before in like a little TikTok, but when I got there, I weighed like 750. I think it was 756, but I don't have a picture of that scale reading because the bed that they originally did my weight on, it was um or no, when they first did my weight, I don't think anyone was there to take a picture of it. I think it was just me and either the doctor or the nurse. And I swear it was like 756, but then I only have a picture of it saying 750. So I don't know. I personally believe that I did get to 800 pounds because before I was weighed, I was in that room for a few days and I was already like going through I was already taking all this medication, a diuretic, and I was already eating a lot less because I was eating what the hospital gave me. So I believe I was closer to 800 pounds. Um, but yeah, I just say my highest weight is 750 because that's what I have proof of. I am in the hospital for that period of time. And then finally, like dealing with insurance and stuff, like that was super confusing for me as well. I still don't know what the hell all that stuff means. So like trying to coordinate my insurance stuff, being in the hospital, my family's asking about me, and it's just like I'm like trying to put all this information out there, coordinate everything, and I was exhausted like mentally, physically, emotionally. I was exhausted and I just knew like this is a result of my own actions. This is the result of not putting myself first. This is the result of not acknowledging my issues and stuff. And I just knew that I never wanted to be back in that situation ever again. So that was big motivation for me to do the right thing. So I finally get discharged from the hospital and they were actually thinking of, well, I actually wanted to go to a rehab facility. They had brought it up and I was like, you know what? I think that would be the best option because the hospital could no longer keep me. And at this point, I was terrified to go back home. I lost my duplex. So the only option I had was to go live with my dad. And I knew that was going to be a burden. I knew that if I moved in there, I was going to have to change. And I knew I would be getting frustrated. I knew that it's not where I wanted to go. I'm grateful that they opened their home up to me, but just knowing like how I am, I was so scared to just fall back into the same pattern. And yeah, but that's what ended up happening. I ended up going to live with my dad and his wife, my stepmom. Well, they're not married, but I just call her my stepmom because at this point, it's just time for them to do that. So she's my stepmom. I went to go live with them, and I give so much thanks to Karen, because that's my dad's girlfriend's name. I give so much thanks to her, and I'm so grateful to have her in my life and blessed for her, because she did the stuff that no one wants to do. She bathed me. She fed me, and she fed me healthy foods. Like, she would talk to me and say, "You're not going to like this, but you need this." And so that helped me a lot. It helped me, open my eyes to a different mindset and how I could be living my life, as far as like being healthier and stuff. So I give a lot of thanks to Karen for that. May 2024, I moved out on my own in my own apartment. And at this point, it was time to film for the show. So we filmed for the show. I had my surgery September 2024. I weighed 580 pounds that day. And today I weigh 395. So that's like over 350-pound weight loss. And a bitch is doing real good over here. Okay, let me just say that. It's been a little over a year. Right. Yeah, it's been a little over a year since my like 1 year anniversary for my surgery, and I love life, guys. Like, I am happy. I want to try new things. You can't catch me at home no more. Like, I'm just gonna say that. My family's like, "You're never home anymore," and it's like, yeah, because I've been stuck at home for so long. Like, I can finally breathe. But that was my Chit Chat Get Ready video with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave me a comment down below. Please subscribe and like this video. Follow my other socials if you want. I already have a bunch of content over there. But yeah, what guys? What videos are you guys interested in seeing? Like, what can I do? I'm not creative at all, so I need ideas. But I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.